Today I effed up by punching my cat. Oh man, my cat is so pissed at me. She might kill me in my sleep. Alright, story time. So a few months ago, I bought an Oculus Quest 2. I was hoping I could use it to get me more active and help me lose that quarantine 15 read. 50 that I managed to gain over this last year down 21. The game I am enjoying and helping the most is called Fit XR. The main exercise is boxing and dancing. When I first got the Quest, she was very interested in it, but quickly learned not to be too close when I used it, as I am moving around. However, that is not where the FU occurs. When you play a game with repeated motions, you develop muscle memory. Yesterday, after my workout, I cooled down and sat in my recliner to relax, when I started to fall asleep. With me there is a point when falling asleep that my leg will twitch and kick out. It always drove my ex-wife batty because it would wake her up. While I was falling asleep, my cat crawled on my chest to nap with me, and I began dreaming that I was boxing in my game. When it came time for my leg twitch, which my cat is used to, my muscle memory kicked in and I threw a right hook across my chest. If you recall, that is where my cat was trying to take a nap. I woke up very suddenly to hissing, crying and claws. She is definitely not happy. Time to see if I have any wet food. TL, Dr. Muscle Memory betrayed me and I punched my cat while napping and defined. She is using her baby eyes to get cuddles from me on demand, and laying on my keyboard. Edit 2. I am definitely not a cat. Cat tax. Wet food can make any pet immediately forgive you. Some wet food, deli turkey, and a liberal pinch of catnip got me back into her good graces. For now. Update tomorrow. If you can. Yes, let us know you're still alive tomorrow. No update dead. So op better give us one. I'm alive and well and definitely not dead. Yours truly, op. I am not a cat. See because meow. Speep. Going to be some clean laundry with piss in it or your bed's going to be. My mom's cat got angry at my sister and peed directly inside her box of soda cans. Only her soda boxes, no one else's. My cat used to pile my clean socks in her litter box if I missed a day cleaning it out. Normally cleaned it out every night before bed. Not my dirty socks, nobody else's socks, nothing but my clean socks and only if I missed a day. Do you want speep on your feet? I don't want speep on my feet. I'm sure we can work out an arrangement here. You better hope she doesn't bring this to court. Or better hope she doesn't bring it up to the homies. /r/hydro homies. Your pillow is 100% getting pissed on tonight. Give her a hug/pet once she's calmed down. She will hopefully see the sign of love. Also, yes, give food. Undefined. I am not a cat, I don't know how to turn it off. We can begin if you want. I watched that video at least 100 times and still laugh. When the eyes shift and he goes I'm not actually a cat. Still hilarious. What's the video? Screw you and I can't wait for you to be asleep so I can scratch the living soul out of you. Sincerely. Cat. It was a sleep scratch. Hand to bast. First the scratch, then you'll sleep. Forever. Wet food won't cut it. Sacrifice a chicken to your cat and treat it like a god until it dies. I pretty much already do. Yeah, but a fresh chicken you probably don't. Get with the altar making. Will a pigeon do? You'd need 2 pigeons per chicken, unless the cat prefers pigeons, then it's only 1. 5. We've all had those bad moments. A decade ago, I had a recliner that had a pretty serious spring-loaded footrest that would just about shoot out, especially if you were trying to lay back at the same time. Didn't realize my wife's cat Patches was under my feet. He had already lifted my legs to push back to lay the recliner all the way back for a nap. When I pulled that lever, off went the catapult. Literally catapult. She must have jumped when the footrest shot out and launched her because she flew in the air about 15 feet across the room and hit my big screen TV, huge old floor model projection style. Sorry, I had tears in my eyes laughing so hard. She just sat in front of the TV cleaning her paws like she meant to do that. Lucky for me, she had no hard feelings and wasn't harmed. I accidentally closed my recliner footrest on my sleeping dog's snout the other night. And it's an old recliner that doesn't lock shut unless you slam it. I couldn't apologize enough, but fortunately for me dogs are much more forgiving than cats. Please don't log off of here. Pretty sure you are now in a harmful situation. Leave the house and never come back. Never trust a cat. Never. Cat is going to piss and speep in your shoes or claw the F out of you while you sleep and walk away like nothing happened. Better get that kitty some catnip. Back when I had a little roomie, his name is Miyazaki and he currently resides in Oregon, he'd drop by at all hours to say hello. So I crossed my legs sitting at my desk at like 2 a.m. thinking I was alone and bopped him full force on the noggin when my foot came down, no shoes thank goodness. He paused for a long moment like, did he do that speep on purpose? Should I bite him? Eventually decided no. Proceeded snuggling. I was much more careful henceforth. Happy ending. 2 days ago I accidentally choked out my dog. Sorta. Small boyo loves to scavenge around the table after dinner. Being raised properly, I get off my chair and push it back under the table only to hear scratching at the table/chair. Only to realize I just put my dog in a headlock between the table leg and chair leg. Poor boy got lots of cuddles and apologizes that night. She must have felt so betrayed. The first sentence had me a little concerned for your cat. The next sentence I read was followed by an "oh. That makes sense" out loud. Damn Oculus creating riffs. Once I clocked my friend's cat by accident, and I almost cried, I felt so bad. That's probably why he went into the room that night and woke us up at 3 a.m. Is this a good time to ask you to pay the cat tax? It's always a good time. Good human. Similar happened to me. I wasn't used to pets. I was staying at my daughter's and she had a cat. A big, mature, nasty tomcat. It climbed on the bed and must have snuggled into my side. In my sleep I must have detected something alien on the bed touching me. I lifted my arm up and slammed it down on the cat. It absolutely savaged my arm and run away. 1 minute I was sleeping away. Next I was awake in extreme pain with the cat yelling and slashing at me. This made me laugh, haha, thank you. My dad fell asleep with my toddler on the arm of his chair. He has no idea what happened, but he fell asleep and the next thing he knew she was on the floor crying. Feeping muscle memory. Jesus, I hope she's okay. I've never heard of someone actually eating the baby. Yeah, she was fine, just startled. Thank God little babies and toddlers really are indestructible. Your cat is gonna bring in his homies to assassinate yo ass while you sleep, unless you bring it food. This reminds me of this morning I woke up and accidentally kicked my cat's face and she jumped off the bed. I felt so bad. I picked her up and gave her some cuddles. She forgave me. A catapult. Occasionally I also let twitch/kick when falling asleep. It's not frequency but I thought I was the only. There is something wrong with me. Nah, I've heard of many people doing. I do it, my fiancé does it, my brother does it, and I'm sure you'll see some other comments about it eventually. I stopped reading after Oculus Quest. I feel that was all the context I needed to upvote this story. I wish I could give you an award right now. It's been 9 hours. Is there an update? Anyone else ever go to throw their phone on the bed but it bounces and smacks your poor baby kitty in the face? I felt like literal speep. Time to look up what an Oculus Quest 2 is. I miss my Wii that I could exercise with. I got a cat when I was 6 or 7. I was his person. Flash forward to I'm 18 years old and go off to basic training and A school to join the Army Reserves. I was gone about 6 months. When I got back, it took a long time for him to forgive me for leaving so long. Maybe a year, I don't really remember. He wouldn't even stay in the same room with me. About a week before he died, he hopped up on my bed, gave me a head bump and curled up on the foot of the bed. An accidental punch should be gotten over pretty easily, I think. I had about the exact opposite happen to me. Sleeping peacefully on my day off at 07:30 a.m. when my cat pounced onto my chest, so maybe there was some movement in the ether and your cat's anger got transported into my cat. I left hooked my 100 pounds coonhound one time. I was half asleep on the couch and she jumped on the ottoman, hitting my face with her giant paw. Right across her jaw too. She whimpered. I checked on her. No injuries thankfully. And she licked me. It was a hilariously wholesome moment that started with a left hook to the jaw. Thank you for letting me discover a new VR game for fitness. Now I will be able to accidentally punch my cat too. Sometimes my cats run in front of me, not just while walking, but while walking and carrying heavy things like my keyboard. Of course, I end up accidentally kicking them. Your cat should forgive you in a few hours, provided you bribe them with cat treats. Lamau. 2 people. Wholesome. Poor cat. Oh. IDK if it's just the day I've had that finally broke me. Or what, but I am sitting at my desk in tears from laughing. Thank you, Op. Now go give your kitty some lovin's. Ooh, you are so gonna be murdered in your sleep. SMH lots of treats and catnip. The moment I read Oculus Quest I had an idea of what you did. Aw man, that's the worst, but as long as you didn't seriously hurt her she should get over it pretty quick. I'd go buy a piece of salmon as a peace offering for that kind of mistake. Lol, the post above this is how their pet cat got ran over 6 months ago and they found a whisker while moving out. Lamau, same for me. Whip out the treats and you will be her favorite person again. Your flirkin is probably going to eat you instead of the wet food. Those falling asleep movements are called a hypnagogic jerk. A very fun name. I do the same thing with my leg as I'm falling asleep as well. Without fail. There is a sweet spot where I am on the edge of falling asleep that I just kick out. My girlfriend accepts it thankfully. Yet to kick her. Oh poor kitty, you mean human. Expect a tiny turd somewhere in your house where you least expect it. It happened to me, but I have no idea how I pissed off my cat. My boy Jasper knows his place but pushes the boundaries occasionally. He is able to bully my wife and son but knows I won't stand for too much BS. 2 nights ago I walked into the bedroom and he was waiting for us. He has a routine of coming to bed with us, getting a pat/brush then goes to patrol the house. Apparently I took too long to walk past him. He came from a rescue situation and is not a fan of feet, particularly ones in socks. He decided to tell me off then had a good attempt at a serious bite. I grew up with cats unlike my wife and son and saw it coming. Instead of a mouthful of my calf muscle he got thin air and a split second later, a very controlled slap to the cheek. My goodness, the look on his face. Wide eyes and mouth open in confusion, not anger. He walked off and sulked behind the bed for a moment but as soon as I got into bed he jumped up and looked at me. I held my loose fist just off the bed and gave him an eye kiss and he came straight over, almost overdoing his affection like some sort of apology. Definitely daddy's boy. One of my cats is very similar. A rescue who hates everyone but me for whatever reason. Don't know why because I never did anything different with her when we got her as a kitten than anyone else in my family did. She also hates feet but only under certain circumstances. She's fine if your foot is in a shoe or sock but the moment it's a bare foot and she sees toes she loses it. The times I have had to scold her she gets very upset about it and will go and put herself to sulk for a half hour or so. She also has her bedtime routine where she wants me to carry her to bed, give her the bedtime teacup toy and pet her until she falls asleep. She gets very upset if the bedtime routine gets delayed. Likewise her brother will yell at me if I don't have my nightly shower by 10 p.m. and will make me follow him to the bathroom where he stands in the shower yelling at me until I start getting ready. Is this salinity? Don't peek with cats. Is she okay? How hard did you hit her? I know it was an accident, I just don't want the poor thing to have any lasting injuries, you know. Hopefully she's fine and the canned food will make her love you again, lol. Is the cat okay? Was she injured? This is the internet. You better immediately pamper your cat and worship them like the absolute god they are now. Give them wet food and other stuff cats like. I'm so sorry you'll send so many treats my cat doesn't like. All of your furniture for pee stains too. I'd put a cover on your mattress so when she pees on your bed tonight it doesn't sink through. Mans was about to give his cat the old one too but only gave one. If it makes you feel better, the leg twitch is actually fairly common when you're falling asleep. I do it sometimes wakes me up from falling asleep and my fiancé does it too. Ike the science behind it but I don't think it's rare. Hope she forgives you, lol. The only people I know to jerk their legs while falling asleep have all been men. I wonder if my anecdotal knowledge is skewed or if it actually occurs in men more often than women. I'm a leg jerker and a woman, but now that I think about it, I am also the only woman whom I know to do that. I always feel so guilty when I wake up from a nightmare and accidentally kick my cat. Also have a cat. Also been using Fit XR every day since Christmas. My cat is yet to be abused, but I have no doubt she's gonna get absolutely Muhammad Ali one of these days. This is how I kicked my wife dead on the nose with my heel. Didn't break it again that time, though. I punched my cat trying to make her a spot because I knew she would be joining me later. She was already there. It was the last time she slept with me. My BF also recently got a Quest 2 and the cat used to sleep on his desk when he was playing. He always came so close to punching my poor sweet Frank but never actually did, thank goodness. We moved recently and I put Frank's bed on my desk so he will be safe from any errant punches lol. Unfortunately my BF has restless leg syndrome so he is not immune from being launched off the bed when sleeping however.